What is the best way to avoid bugs and coworkers, Athisyy?
For me, it's just doing what I do normally. Like when I code, I talk to myself 95% of the time.
95.
So like out loud. So I think in an office, I would not be a very popular neighbor to have. Because I don't do it particularly quiet. And if somebody next to you just talks the whole time, it kind of seems a bit crazy if he's not on a phone call and stuff. So I
Yeah,
think that definitely is a great way to avoid coworkers if you don't want to go to an office. Just go once, do that, and they will ask you to work remotely.
man, I think I have to do that actually because I always wanted to work from home forever. Now I just work 2 days from home, but I would try that
Mm.
next time. But I think my team knows me too well. They just think I would troll them or something because I normally
Okay.
don't do that often in the office. But yeah, I think that I really like that, and I'm too sad that we didn't mention it before. Actually, that talking to yourself while coding is one of the best ways to understand yourself, to understand what you actually are doing, right? Because
Yes.
sometimes you think you do something, but the code is different to what you
Yeah.
wanted to do, right? Um, do you know the actually term for that? There is a term which people use in computer science, which describes exactly what we just talked about.
Rubber Ducky Debugging.
Exactly, exactly. So, for those who don't know, how would you describe it for them?
Basically, um, probably everybody had this problem, or this happened, I guess, to them. You describe a problem to a friend or something, and why you are describing it, the solution to the problem comes to you. Because you're describing it to somebody else and maybe think about the solution to a different problem, or think of stuff that you didn't think of before because you're trying to describe it. And in rubber ducky debugging, it's basically the same. Normally, it's done with a rubber duck, but that's where the name comes from.
Yeah, it could be like
Um,
this as well. Hello,
exactly, or you can use whatever, or just talk to yourself. But
whatever
like
you want.
using something else just makes it a bit easier. So you can say, "I'm not talking to myself, but I'm talking to this thing."
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry,
yeah,
I'm in the
and
discussion.
yeah, and that way you explain to somebody else what your code should do
Oh yeah.
and what you think it does, and then you can read the code why you do that and see if it actually does what you thought it would do, or if your hands did something differently than you were thinking. And that very, very often fixes issues in the code if you think you did something right and then maybe the function is missing input or you didn't return something or whatever. It definitely a lot of the time helps to find issues and bugs.
Yep, exactly that. And I think, not like it is a method which I always see when or people apply when they already are involved in programming and all that stuff, right? But I think, or that's what I also teach in my class, that I tell them, or like the students, guys, you need to talk while you code. Don't sit there and try to fix it, and you got an error, and you just try it again without even thinking about that, and ask yourself, why is it not working? And then go down the whole thing, and you learn the logic, right? Because
Yes.
you say, okay, if I do this, then this should happen, right? And then you print it or whatever you do, lock it into your file, and see if it exactly does what you do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, so that's why I think that's one thing which every person should do, especially when you start learning programming, because I think the hardest part is, as I said before, is you have to change the complete way of thinking if you didn't code before. What do you
Yeah,
think?
it's much more logical. It's much more planning ahead, and having different parts working together that are individually and seeing, where to go, where not to go, what roads to take, and like to say that it's or to get to that point that it's very important to talk to yourself, especially in interviews. Always talk aloud and think aloud in interviews when
Yeah,
you're doing live coding,
just
so the
sitting there.
interviewer can follow your train of thought and see if it's good or not.
I love it. Say your last famous words.
Don't go to sleep at 4 a.m.